You know what you're talking about. What's distorted?
The view of, being hard because you got that thing and all that stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I was talking to my son and his friends, and he was like, I got that whatever he said. He called it a peace shoe. He called it a sticker first, and he was like a peace shoe. I said, you talking about a gun? And he's like, yeah, ain't nobody gonna run up on me. I said, just because you have one don't mean you can't get hit. I'm sorry to tell you.
Actually, because you have one makes you more likely to get hit.
Exactly. He was talking about his fighting skills. I was telling him about Miles, Gerald. I said, I got a cousin that literally has hard hitter tattooed on his hand. And he is a hard hitter.
Yes, he is.
I said, but
Yes, he is.
if you got that reputation of being a hard hitter, they're not coming to you with just hands.
Yeah. They want to make sure they're good because they're afraid. Fear makes people bring this kitchen sink at you.
It's all about the energy that you draw into yourself, man. That's what you putting out there. Somebody always gonna try to test it.
Yeah, but they don't get that. It still doesn't come that easy for some reason.
Yeah. Well, it can come easier, it can come hard, but it's still coming.
Yep.
Exactly.
Still coming. All right. So I dropped the link off. All right. Here we go. So we can almost rock and roll. All right. Go ahead and share my screen real quick. So the BLI podcast mission statement, we're the #1 mentorship for mindset development, career ascension, education, and leadership cultivation. Our DNA is being authentic, positive. We respect all sex, race, religion, political views, and preference. And we like to have a great sense of humor. Have a good time. Don't be too sensitive. Some of the stuff you might hear may move you in a way, may inspire you, may hurt your feelings. It may make you laugh a little bit, but all this is in an attempt to raise those vibrations. We're trying to be a light and be able to create more of the light within our peers, family, friends, and all people that come in contact with this stream. So welcome back to the BLI podcast. It's your boy K.Sloan here with the homies.
J.Jones.
J.Jones. Got the
boy
boy Nate G. And yeah, we'll let him introduce himself. What do you want to call yourself, sir?
It's DeMarcus. He's here. He's here. He back. Sober mind.
Sober minded, yes, sir. Calm, cool, collected. And with us all being back, man, a little heat check, man. Where we at, man? What's good? What's life got going? Well, we spring breaking on the teacher side, Nate. So I know what you got going.
Big chilling, really getting the house ready for this baby, man. That's about it. Cleaning up, putting stuff together. I'm putting together a crib tomorrow. That's what I'm gonna be doing with my life.
Hey, let's go.
Yes, sir. Let's not go too fast. I needed to stay in there one more week.
We say DeMarcus?
I said, they got a bassinet and everything, or just a crib?
No, we got the bassinet already set up. The bassinet in our bedroom, but putting the crib up in her room, had it all, together. Want to bring my baby home to home, not to say, your room is still the storage room. So,
Respect. Yeah, them swaddling skills gonna be on 10, bro. Them swaddling skills, you gonna get that swaddle down. You gonna have that
wrap up like a burrito.
There you go, bro. It's gonna be easy too. Once you really get into it, it's like you don't even. I feel like I still can swaddle, and Kate is almost 11 years old. Right, swaddle right now.
That would be the first time I've swaddled a child. It's a lot of stuff. I realized there's a lot of things that I've never actually done, like with babies. I'm a very hands-off uncle when they're young. It's like, oh, okay, like little baby, I held you, go back. Like, wait till I get a little bit of weight on him, put a little size on him before I start messing with him. But it's gonna be a lot of new stuff for me.
Do you have any nieces?
3. 3. Very hands off with all 3.
For most people, I know, and I had a preemie, so I was very hands off, and I had a preemie. But you'd be surprised how much comes naturally, especially if you want to be involved in stuff. Like somebody gonna have to take her away from you. Like I literally could hold my son in my hand. I got pictures. I just showed you. I got pictures while I'm sleeping with him, and you can't even see that he's in my hand, but I got him. You know, they had to go. Mr. English, you're not supposed to be asleep with the baby. Go ahead.
For real. That's crazy. That's a little crazy time. Them father instincts start kicking in real quick. Start kicking in real quick, man. You want to take care of everything, make sure she good, make sure the baby good. You be like low key trying to make sure you keep checking the diapers. You be looking in there like, they good. Oh, okay. I thought something was in there this time. I was gonna make sure, like, if I had to change it, I got it. You know, so I'm saying I got it though. But no, it's beautiful, man. It's beautiful.
Yeah,
but I mean, what else we got going on out there in the world? I know for me, my new diet is going well, y'all. My pescatarian diet has been going strong, bro. It's been like 3 months. It's been 3 months. Yeah, it's just very expensive though. Pocketbook.
What made you go pescatarian?
So I wanted to stop digesting so much food, bro. As they wanted, because they said it takes 18 to 26 hours to digest all meat, other than fish. Fish is like 6 to 8, along with almost 95% of other stuff we eat. I said, all right, if my stomach doing most of my work, or my body, excuse me, is doing most of the work when it's digesting food, then let me take some of the work off my body and see what my body can do. So I was like, all right, boom, change that and see. And I mean, I feel great. I feel good. Just, just to actually create meals, or if I'm gonna eat out, finding places to eat is wild. It's wild, bro. Because everything used to got chicken in it, got beef, you got steak, you got pork. I just be like, nah, I'm good. I went to the dinner the other day for my kids. We had a leadership award dinner. Couldn't eat nothing but baked beans. And I couldn't eat the baked beans. I couldn't eat the baked beans. I had to eat salad. I ate salad. It had brisket. Brisket was smelling smoked and juicy. And I'm just like, bro, I can't eat this. Bro, I like, bro, I can't eat this.
You about to faint, kid. You talking about, I'm feeling good.
Started getting the meat switch.
That brisket was smoked.
Boy, it was perfectly sliced. It was just pink on the outside. Very light pink, not even a heavy pink. It was light pink. I was like, yeah, I can't eat that. We can't eat that. I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and keep moving. Grab the salad, and put the balsamic on there, and dream sweet dreams. But yeah, it's going good though. I feel great. I feel good.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's good. Well, I ain't got no spring break. I'm working. So
you working? Because the people need that. The people need you there. The people need you there. But I mean, I think we can get into it, man. So boom. I want to kind of talk about, maybe we could talk about D Money's topic, what he just brought up. I think that's a great topic he brought up. So I'll let him introduce that.
All right. Well, just to put a different swing on things, we all, it's a social media world, so we all intertwine. Well, not everybody, but the majority of the world is intertwined, especially America is intertwined with social media. And we always see the great, the good, the lavish, the millionaire, billionaire, which only makes up 8% of
is that
the population.
It's a lot.
So, and not even just that, just when you get on social media, I heard a podcast of some guys kind of ragging on a very famous, very popular, very prominent boxer that makes a lot of money. He has money in his nickname pretty sure everybody knows what I'm talking about now. But and was kind of ragging on him because they felt like he was being braggadocious and sending everybody into a depression because everybody can't be that. It's like everybody can't be a boss. And I agree with that. Everybody can't be a boss, you know, so to speak. Everybody's not going to be a millionaire, billionaire. But how do we elevate people without them feeling like the top of the mountain is a millionaire, billionaire? Because if they don't get there, and especially in the times today, it doesn't take long for people to feel like a failure. And then when you feel like that, you fall into a pitfall so fast to where you can slide off into depression, mental illness, you know, being mad or jealous at other people's, envious, you know, and just understanding that your elevation, your life may be a different path, and you may not be a millionaire or billionaire, but you can still enjoy life without watching these people or these peers on social media and like feeling like you have to get there.
I feel like, so the reason why I like this topic, I think you're making great points, bro. And the reason why I like this topic is when you talk about Floyd Money Mayweather, who is literally lifestyle marketing at its finest. Bro is going to put his whole life out there, and we know how Floyd living. And the discomfort that's created by somebody living their life out loud on social media I wouldn't blame the person doing it, right? It's not their fault. It's their page. They can post whatever they want. We talked about that before. People posting things, but you post what you post. It's social media. It's for posting. But for the recipient of the energy coming from a post, you got to evaluate why you on social media and what you on social media for. And you got to evaluate who you follow, why you follow, stuff like that. We you know what I'm saying? I guess you could call it social media competence, like being competent as to why you indulging in certain content. Because yes, there is clinical studies that say social media is tied to depression. Like it depresses people, it brings people down, it makes people feel small. A lot of people. It's not even just posts like that. It's like they say just the content in general, just the defamation of character that happens to celebrities, and you know what I'm saying, just how they break down, you know, your mundane lifestyle and how, you know, it's tied to things that you never knew it was tied to based upon like a 30-second TikTok video of a reason. This is the reason why you like this, stuff like that. Like it's just a lot of different things that go into play with social media. But as it pertains to the exposure to great things, like I think it's important to be exposed to greatness. Like we need to see greatness especially in a form that looks like you. I think that you need to see a great example of you out there in the world. Somebody that's come from a similar background as you, somebody that may look a little bit like you, may talk a little bit like you, and have similar views. I think that's important. I do think it's important that we build our confidence first, though, before, you know what I'm saying, like going and consuming stuff. Like you got to be strong mentally. But I feel like you have to have great examples. I mean, now, and I ain't gonna say that it's easy to be mentally strong. That's another issue. I think that's a thing where we got to go into putting values of, you know, self-worth back in like school, back in the children, back in the homes. Like, yeah, that's where it starts. But I think once you get to the seeing somebody great, you can't get mad at them because they flexing and they stunting. Like, why are you mad at the stunner for? Like, he got it.
How do you regulate that when we put a phone in a child's hand and they're tied to TikTok and Instagram before they can even develop that type of attribute to you know, write their own path? Because you teach a child that, and these kids got a phone first and second grade with access to the internet, and they watching. I mean, check this out. We call the people that they watch influencers. Yeah. So you got people that are influencers that are influencing somebody that is what, 8, 9, 10 years old, and then they might develop a negative connotation to their own peers in real life and their parents, and feel like, hey, I'm finna go be like this influencer, and the influencer is just showing them this side. They don't show all the work that my sister showed me a storyboard that a influencer puts together. It's kind of like a sitcom. They have to put a storyboard together of how they're going to blend today's message and the outlook and the perspective, the views and everything. Like, they don't show you all that. Like, some people go to school for that. But you know, you don't see all that. And me and Gerald talk about this all the time. This world is instant gratification. I did it. I worked hard for 3 days. Where's my millions?
This is the out of context generation. This is the generation that does not have full context of anything. Yes, we are the generation that we can, at a snap of our fingers, get a piece of the story that validates what we believe, and we can run with it. And there'll be a lot of people that will run with us because any Joe Blow can get on the phone and have a message. You know what I'm saying? Any Joe Blow can get on the phone and find a message that will validate their message and then perpetuate that. So yeah, like you got that going on. But I think going back to the kid though, what you're talking about, the 9, 10, 11-year-old, that kid sees that thing or those things, right? Because my daughter right now, she can't get on TikTok. She can't get on TikTok. She can't get on YouTube. She can't get on all that stuff. Like not, and she get on YouTube, but kids YouTube. But I monitor that because I want to know what she's getting. But I'm about to start letting her, when she hit about 12, I'm gonna start letting her get into the whole social media things to see. And I think it's important us as parents that we have conversations with our kids when they come into contact with this stuff as to what it really is. This is now a teaching moment. Now we get to talk about what's real and what's not, because being the parent that just says, you know, because I said so, that's gone now. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna be able to do that no more. It's too much information out here. You gotta, now you're the parent that, okay, this is what we believe. You know what I'm saying? This is how we see things. This is where we come from. Like, you may see a lot out there, but it's not necessarily like that, you know, for us, based on what we've been through, history, understanding, what I've raised you with, moral compass. It really puts a charge on, you know what I'm saying, the adults that's raising children. But then when you become an adult and you seeing great stuff, the insecurities you have now, I mean, it's forcing you to do some inner work. It's gonna force you to.
You hit it on the head, bro, with teaching moment, because it's really, what are you teaching the kids from early on? Like, I love that this came from talking about Mayweather, right? Why are you comparing yourself to one of the greatest boxers of all time? Like, that's where it's tangible. He's not. That's the thing.
But social media makes it feel tangible.
Accessible. He's accessible. He's not tangible. It is not tangible that you think you're going to be that successful and make that kind of money for anyone, really and truly. It is possible.
Why not?
It's possible. Is it tangible that Mayweather is going to say, hey, everybody can go out here and become the greatest boxer of all time and make this kind of money and happen to have this luck with marketing that he's had? That's not tangible. It's not. And we can't have that kind of mindset, right? So the number one thing for me is always, when we're talking about athletes and comparing ourselves to athletes, entertainers, anything like that, get that out your head, bro. Because that's not you. Chances are you're not going to be a successful athlete. We played college ball. As soon as I said, oh, I'm signing the D2 Tarleton State, it was out of my mind about going to the league. That's not something I was thinking about. I'm not comparing myself to these kind of people anymore. It's now more real life for me. You can see Mayweather and whoever out here stunting, and it's like, oh man, I want to live like that. Yes, we want to live like that. But how did he get that? What has Floyd Mayweather done outside of the entertainment industry to earn something like that, right? So if you don't have that kind of athletic prowess, that's not realistic for you. That's not really tangible. So I think that's number one on what we're teaching kids. But more importantly, like what you're saying with the vision boards, like with what influencers are doing, teach them the reality. That part of it is cool. You can go out there and do it. You can say, oh, I'm interested in that. I want to learn how to do that. But I think as a parent, we have to teach them the reality of things. We being school teachers, right? If we cultivate programs to actually show these kids, this is the work that you have to do. Now, if you really want to go and do it, maybe this is the outcome that you get. But also giving them the reality. The chances are you're not going to be making $500,000 a month. You might be making $5,000 a month, and that's still good. To me, it's about teaching, and it's about actually I think continuing to enforce reality on things, right? It's not realistic
You
that
gotta be
most
careful
people are
with
going to
that.
be like that.
You gotta be careful with enforcing reality though, because enforcing reality sounds like I'm putting you in the box.
No,
because this is
I'm
how it's
not putting you in the
normally
box.
gone.
You know,
I'm
No.
telling you what your chances are. I'm not
Exactly.
telling you that you cannot. I'm gonna be careful about saying that. I'm not telling you you have zero opportunity to do this. I'm telling you it's a 5% chance. Now, if you're gonna go and give 5,000% effort to get that 5% chance, cool. I'm gonna support it. But don't tell me, I think like with the instant gratification, don't tell me I'm gonna work, 3% effort and think I'm gonna be in the top 1% or something. That's just not realistic.
That's facts.
Yeah, that's what I said. Like y'all said, I wish they would show some of the work. I mean, I know they can't show everything they do, but I wish they would show some of the work so these kids can have a reality check. Like, man, this dude running 5 miles a day and then go straight to the gym and then box for 30 minutes and then jump rope 5,000. That's what you got to do. If you want to be top 5% of the world, that's the work you got to put in.
Before 10.
So I feel like, I mean, like I said, I know they don't want to show their whole life. That would be kind of weird to have a camera around you at all times just to influence other people to put in all that work. But yeah, I wish the kids could see the background work, because then I would hope that would make them work harder instead of just seeing, like DeMarcus said, all the glamorous stuff, because it's almost like, man, he's just an athlete. All he do is box. But y'all don't know all the work he put in to be 50-0. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's the hard part. All we see is the good stuff, like DeMarcus said. You get on Instagram, nobody's sad. Well, some people show their sadness, but for the most part, most people showing the fun stuff they're doing, the traveling they're doing, all the good stuff, all the money they spend. So, I mean, I wish kids could see, like they said, reality. And all this stuff, this in real life, this is not how life gonna go. You're gonna have to struggle sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Learn how to fight through, not fight people, but fight through adversity. So
you know what I really appreciate with social media? There are some people who are open and honest about like the reality of what they do. Like I see a lot of people talking about getting into the tech fields and things like that. Like these are still somewhat newer fields where I think a lot of people didn't have exposure to it, maybe not access to it, whatever you want to say. But there's people out here living real good lives off of, oh, this is just a simple job that I got. You can go and do X, Y, and Z. You can go and get this degree, this certification, apply for these kind of jobs, and you too can be making 150 a year. That's realistic, right? Those are actually tangible things. So I think, like you're saying, really, we have more people who are giving you the truth of it, and maybe not just showing you the ins and outs, but really talking to you about reality, not just, oh, look at the trip that I'm on, look at the whip that I'm pushing. What did you actually do to get the whip, right? What did you do to actually make this money? Just give them a little bit of the game like that. It's really about opening doors. It's more exposure to certain things. But
you got to expose the lies too.
Got to expose the lies.
I'm just saying, like some of them cars are leased. Some of them cars ain't they cars. Some of them houses ain't that. Look at MTV Cribs. They used to rent those houses. They weren't their houses.
Yeah. Why'd they do that? Why'd they do that? Why were they doing that though?
Because they can sell you a dream.
They're creating their narrative. Yeah. These people, they say, I read a quote today. They said, you got people, a lot of people, they go into whatever they do to do good, and then they end up just doing what helps them do well, right? Mm-hmm. And with that being said, you talk about MTV Cribs, where cats, it was known everybody was renting their stuff. They was renting all their stuff. A lot of those folks, they were trying, maybe they were coming out the hood trying to do good. You know what I'm saying? I want to show the youngest, you can do this too. But then they get there and it's like, well, I'm going to rent all this stuff so that I can do well and flex, so that Interscope Records can continue to, believe in me, because I got to make all this money back that I just spent, you know what I'm saying, for my record deal. Like everything that I got is on loan. Like it's like I owe everybody, but I got to flex hard enough towards I get the next deal so I can keep doing well. My mama got to have a house. My daughter got to have something, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Some of the flyest steppers, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's stuff.
And plus flexing get you that attention. Like y'all saying, like it's hard to tell a 20-something-year-old not to flex when all they get is the attention from everybody they want their attention from. It's like the women gonna like it. Everybody else, I mean, the haters gonna hate, but that's what they really want. It's almost like, yeah, I got it. So how you gonna tell somebody who's never been taught how to save money or anything. When I get money, I need to flex. People need to see I have money, you know? So MTV Cribs, they show off these houses. We watching it. They making more money. So it's almost like.
But see, like y'all saying though, the solution in this all sounds like we need more truth. Like we need more of both sides of the story, because I don't necessarily think there's nothing wrong with a flex. I think us as people, if you have it, you should be able to show it off if you want to. If you can afford it, if that's your lifestyle, that's fine. Like you got a nice car, show it off. If you feel like, you know what I'm saying, we having this elaborate dinner and we all wearing white and everybody got on Cubans and all that, whatever, if you want to show it, show it. But then like y'all said, if you create your own narrative and you want to, you know, help us out mentally as people, if you really try to make impact, then also show us some of your pain. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of break it down to us and really show us, you know, what it costs to be a 5%er like Nate says. Like, if you want to be in this elite group, I am doing a lot more than you are. A lot of stuff that you would never dream of doing. A lot of the things I give up, you would almost want to kill yourself to have to give it up. You know what I'm saying? Like I used to watch Kobe Bryant's documentaries, and it always blew my mind when they would talk about Kobe. Like this stuff sounded like fairy tales, bro. They say you get up at 4:30 a.m. and like you said, run 6 miles and then go to the gym, be hooping until 6 a.m. And then, you know, say he would have his team practice later that day. Then he'll play a game. And they say if they lose the game, he don't go to bed till like 2 a.m. Just like crazy stuff like that gave me the perspective to say, bro, I don't know if I'm really going to be the best basketball player of all time. Like, you know what I'm saying, Jordans and Kobe's and LeBrons. I'm not trying to do that. I'm not trying. I'll do that for something else. What's up? What did Melo say?
No, Melo said he ain't going.
Yeah,
I can do it.
Melo said I ain't doing it.
Nah, I'm good, bro. I'm good because Melo know he had the athletic ability, but he wasn't like trying to do all that. Like, bro, everybody not like that. Everybody is not like that.
Have y'all seen Creed 3?
Mm-hmm.
Not yet.
Okay, let me show you.
Nah, go ahead and talk about it.
No, I'm just saying they showed some of the work. Like they showed him, you know, what he had to do to beat somebody, you know what I'm saying? So I like that. I was in the movies, like I'm glad they showed get your butt whooped a little bit, then what you got to do to come shake back. So I was gonna say
and he was flexing on him strong too.
Yeah. So
flexing, huh?
Yeah. So
yes.
We're going to see that tomorrow in big.
I heard it's a really good movie.
Kurt. I don't know where I got Kurt from, but Kerry, I'm talking about hurt your pride flexing in front of your people flex.
In front of your people, just like whatever.
Michael B. Jordan, you owe us some money. We didn't give you a little bit.
but I think he definitely owes us a little bit. But I definitely think it's important to flex a little bit though, bro. I mean, I think just for your self-esteem, I think it's important to believe in what you've gone through and what that's produced. I think you should take, like we always say, celebrate small victories. In reality, most of the stuff that you get really ain't even a good exchange for what you put in. Like a lot of times you put in way more work than that little something you got. So you like, hey, I'm finna show y'all this because I've been working. Like y'all gonna see this because I got it now. And just, hey, you can get it too. I think that's big. Just make sure you give them the full picture. If you're gonna create a narrative and you care. Now, if you don't care and you just like beating down on the community, then you do what you do. But if you care, I think you give the community your full story and let us actually know what you really living life like out here. Like, you know, give us a little more. Give our kids at least. Give our youth more. Give them more because they need to see some of the pain. That's important.
Live in reality, kids. Live in reality. You can be a baller. You can flex, but you got to grind for it, dog. If I can quote another great philosopher from the South, you don't grind, you don't shine.
Yeah,
that's simple.
Yeah, the grind or the shine is reserved for the grinders. And with that being said, we can pivot a little bit. I want to talk a little bit about Angela Yee bringing up some comments to the lady that she interviewed with.
This, can you please post how Charlamagne, or not Charlamagne, what's that boy name? Webby tried to say all their names.
My God.
Angela Yee.
Angela Yee.
Charlotte McGay and DJ Envy.
No, he yeah. You know, Webby, reading was not his forte. But now, man, so Angela Yee said that she was the only woman working on the Breakfast Club. Why you laughing so hard, bro?
Why did you just casually drop reading wasn't his forte like that?
Hey, bro, because it wasn't, bro. Definitely needed some more.
He had to read the lyrics he wrote down.
Did he?
Did
Or
he?
did he freestyle?
J.Jones, did he? You know, let's be real. I mean, let's be real.
Y'all gonna get
We
on
said we're being realistic today. We're being
Okay,
realistic.
okay, next subject.
All right. So with that being said, you know what I'm saying? Angela Yee was talking about how she was the only woman working for Breakfast Club and that she left because there wasn't that, equal representation there, which is understandable. You know what I'm saying? To all ladies out there, this is Women History Month. We get that 100%. And then going into her comments, she said a little bit deeper that the comments that were being made by, the likes of Charlemagne and DJ Envy were misogynistic at times. And those comments ended up making her responsible for her response to those comments. And she didn't like how that was going. And it was hurting her. Basically, like it was something that wasn't good for her mentally in her career. She had to address those things. And this kind of brought a point to me talking about, because I mean, the Breakfast Club is one of the most successful media, shows we have in our culture. Like that's one of the ones. And so for them to disband with her leaving, it said something. And then what I thought about was being guilty by association is what she was. So it felt like she was hurt by being guilty by association, saying, I'm a part of the Breakfast Club. So the misogynistic things that may come out of Charlemagne's mouth to the people that love me, I have to address because I'm guilty because I'm on this team. And a lot of people join teams where they don't have similar interests, similar ideals, but for the sake of the, again, talking about the money or talking about the fame or the notoriety, I mean, you can grow and go with a group that may not share your interests, and y'all are individuals, all of y'all are individuals, but y'all just got that rock star, energy, so people rock with it. But then now the backlash, when it comes, it's coming for the group. It's not coming for Takeoff, Quavo, or Offset. It's coming for the Migos. It's coming for the Beatles. Like it ain't gonna just coming for, John Lennon. So what's y'all thoughts on that? What y'all think about, just the her thoughts, what she had to say, how y'all feel about being guilty by association, the importance of that, or maybe if there's maybe too much of an importance put on that by individuals. I don't know what's your thoughts on that.
I think it's media. I think it's one, I don't watch the Breakfast Club very often. I've seen bits and pieces, but I cannot tell you that I've ever really sat down and watched the whole interview that they do.
But you always see bits and pieces, though.
But you always see bits and pieces.
Yeah, you always see bits and pieces. Yeah, you always see bits and pieces. That's marketing. Yep.
That's exactly where I'm going with it. I think it's marketing at the end of the day. I think we're definitely in a time now where I can say something a little bit polarizing and people will click on it just to find out what I said. People are going to hate watch because of what I said. People are going to watch it just so they can now get on their platform and say, man, I can't believe that boy said that, this and that. Y'all need to get rid of him, do whatever, because that gets them more views. So I don't know. I ain't gonna really speak on it too much because if she felt that there was something wrong, that's her own opinion. Like I told y'all when we first started, I looked it up. They kind of went back at her. DJ Envy was saying, look, that's not really true. So I don't know. But I think when we talk about guilty by association, you got to understand, if you're successful, that's what you're going for. If you really out there to say this is about your moral turpitude and things like that, I don't know if you're really in the right field. End of the day, all right. Not with what they're necessarily doing. Not with a morning show that's that popular, right? I think it
built on drama. They built on drama. Yeah,
that's why they're popular. Charlemagne is why they're popular. Like what he says sometimes kind of push.
It's true. But he's fair in what he said because he always like, well, tell me your response or tell me what you think.
He ain't always fair in what he say. He ain't because Charlamagne.
No, not fair in what he say, but
you talking about that response?
If somebody responds to it, he's like, that's your opinion, or that's
he does say that.
I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot of different perspectives to this that you can take because she I don't watch Breakfast Club like that, but I know that she's had her own podcast even while the show was running. I want to know is she being muted? Is she being like, some type of gag situation to where she can't respond because it seemed like it was an open platform to respond and their show goes to the ends of both sides. So I mean they go everywhere with it. So I don't know. I don't know all the perspectives about it. And then if she's going to say that, I think she's created her own show now. Are you going to bring in, the perfect ratio of men on your show so that they can defend the male perspective? Because if I'm being truthful, I just feel like it's a double negative. I feel like you can use your womanhood and say, I want to say this, and then you can back up and let everybody else fight the fight. Because if it's a man, if it's the other way around, it's like you need to be a man to step up and say something.
Well, they were saying they. Wait a minute, hold up. Can you say the last statement one more time? Say it one more time before I say it.
I said if she was the man and leave the show and then say that they wouldn't let her say it, like, well, you got to be a man to step up and say something.
Yeah, and that's what
they would call you a coward. I almost want to call her a coward, but I don't know everything, so I don't want to say that being Luffy or anything. But I almost want to call her a coward just off of the little knowledge I have. Don't throw the rock and then go run and hide your hand. They stand there and take it. That's what you're talking about. You want to say something or you want to have a rebuttal, stand there and take it. Like, hey, this is what I've wanted to say, or this is what I feel like I should have said. I don't feel like even in a team situation, you don't lose the me, you don't lose the I. I tell my wife all the time, I still want her to have her independence. I said, I don't want her to be that woman that said, I lost myself in you or in the marriage. That's great, but holistically, if I die, I still need you to be able to carry on. So I don't want you to lose so much of yourself to where you can't function on your own too. We should strengthen each other. We should go through this together. This is just my perspective, but I don't feel like you should lose everything in me and then forget all about yourself. And that also puts more pressure on me. Kind of like what you were saying, Kerry, it also puts more pressure on the team. Like, hey, you need to know your role, play your role, and solidify your role. And then when the team comes together, we move as a team, but still, you are individual. You have your position.
But what if they was paying her, once again, we're going to money, but let's say $2 million. She probably, I'm saying, what if they, whatever the Breakfast Club paying her, they paying her well. And they basically saying, like, I ain't gonna say Charlamagne to start, but he makes the drama. So, like, let Charlamagne be Charlamagne, kind of like you say, play your position. She making all this money, so she probably didn't feel like she was as big as she needed to be until she left, or till her contract ended. She probably didn't feel like she could go on her own until now. So maybe she just took it to make her money, and I mean, like,
but that's why I say I don't know. Of course, I don't know everybody's story.
We don't know.
Ain't gonna come out anyway. So if
I
knew everybody's personal story or knew more about the business, then I can speak more to it.
Right.
And I'm really surprised that they just now are just disbanded with, the type of like people that have coming on that show, the celebrities that have coming on that show, just the energy just seems like it'd be a lot to deal with that. They go on, like you said, they go on all sides, bro. They'll have freaking like Louis Farrakhan up there, then they'll have Soulja Boy up there, you know what I'm saying? Then they'll have Lil Mamba up there. It's just like it's just a lot, you know what I'm saying? And those types of characters, when you one of the hottest shows of the culture, you bring in all these varying personalities, it's gonna pull the individuals that's running the show in different ways. I could only imagine. And then I just feel like too, you know what I'm saying, going into like what J.Jones said, they all employees of, you know what I'm saying, the show. So at some point, employees grow. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's gonna grow to a new spot. So I do see that as part of it. Maybe she just thought it was time to, you know what I'm saying, ascend and move on, which I think people need to be actually doing more of. Like, more people need to see it as, you know what I'm saying, know when you outgrew a situation, so you don't stay in it and you bitter now. You know what I'm saying? Now you that bitter. Now she's feeling that stereotype, you know what I'm saying? Like that bitter, angry black woman that's on there, like, well, y'all just acting like men on here. Like, she's like, you know what? Y'all keep doing what y'all do. I'm gonna go have my show over here because I can do that. And it's like, cool, smooth, like, you know what I'm saying? But once you, well, I'll tell you about to say something, but I just want to say this real quick. Let me get this out. Once you are on that team, though, and you are a part of that group and that entity, and you play into some of the stuff they talk about, but then you go backwards and say, well, they're not, then just like, that's when you start getting those side eyes from everybody. They be like,
That's what I'm finna say. Because like, yes, it's cool to say I outgrew it. I want to go do my own thing. But if I come back and say, you know what, I'm starting the Nate Golden podcast, and I'm go out there and say, like, man, we called it Be a Light, but them boys ain't let me really shine a light on what I wanted to. Now I'm drawing some attention just to build up a platform.
right.
Now you can,
that happens a lot.
Negativity and drama sell, right?
Yep.
And especially, you know, no disrespect, ladies, but if a woman is saying I was overshadowed by buzzword misogyny, buzzword men, this and that, like that, come on, like that's marketing at the same time. So
yeah,
I don't know. I don't really care because I don't keep up with that show.
Yeah, she got a whole group. She got a whole group that's like, you know what, you right. The group of people that, you know, like the market said, marketing, like you said, marketing, everything's marketing, man. Y'all better wake up and keep your eyes open. You know what I'm saying? Because these values are not superseding marketing tactics. Like the marketing tactics are most important out here in a capitalistic society, and you better not be letting these heartfelt responses and these things people are saying to make you go on, make you think that it ain't about money. Like, it's about the money. This is
always
about
if
the
it
money.
ain't about the money,
Man, bro, Meta got in trouble. I wasn't gonna talk about this, but I just read it. Meta got in trouble for leaking information. Or no, not them. Seabrook.
World Peace or Facebook?
Nah, man. Facebook. Facebook got in trouble. Facebook got in trouble. They didn't though, actually. They didn't get in trouble because I'm assuming they got rules that protects them. But this medical entity that works pretty much online, they got in trouble for accidentally giving their pixels of data to Facebook, Meta, who has also been getting accidental data from other medical entities that kind of be sharing stuff that's protected by HIPAA accidentally. They say that they had these pixels built into the apps to where they didn't know that the information from the people that the patients has been getting, you know, sent over to Meta, which goes into, you know, talking about healthcare, where people be thinking, you know, you go into dealing with doctors, you're dealing with nurses, you're dealing with people that, you know, you assume have your best interests. They are taking your information and they're giving it to social media platforms because, bro, it's all about money out here. Y'all don't be thinking that it's all sweet. Like, follow the money and then you'll know what the reality is. You know what I'm saying? Just keep your eyes on the money. That's what I would say. That's what I would say.
That's a topic for another day, but
why can't be today?
No, because it's gonna go a whole lot farther. But we need to talk about this. You say it's all about the money. I don't think everybody chases money. I think some people chase power. I've been kind of reading some of the stuff that Trump has been putting out. I don't think Trump chases money. I think Trump chases power.
But power begets money. You know what I'm saying? Money begets power.
Yeah, but I think in a different way than chasing a bag. You understand what I'm saying? I don't think he chases a bag. I think he chases position, and position that comes with power, and so that he can exploit the power for, like Nate said, for ultimate control. Where somebody chases money, they're chasing money to bring the value to their life that the money may bring, where somebody else is trying to exploit a position.
Yeah, because the money, if you chasing money, then there's a dollar amount that you'll stop at chasing. But if you're chasing power, there's no dollar amount. It's just, I need the control. So give me everything, including the resources that are gonna give me that control. So I got you, man. I ain't seen it yet.
It's a good show, but they said something in the last episode I saw that was kind of related to that. Like the dude that worked for the CIA, he you know, I'll tell y'all the show a little bit or whatever, but this dude sitting on like 75 mil. And his lady is like, why don't you take this money and leave? If it's that can get you all of the power that you want. But really, I forget the exact words that he said. That wasn't enough power for him, basically. That wasn't enough of like how he wants to be able to control things and do things like that, right? But I think that's the reality of it all is it's not just money for everybody. It is a sense of control. It's a sense of saying you are the leader, you are the one who's running the show. And that can mess with people's mind, man. Like, but it's both sides. Both of them are like really a negative thing. Because if you're doing it for the money, somebody can always control you too.
Yeah.
But is control bad?
Ultimate control, yes. Oh yeah. You seeking just power on top of power on top of power. I mean, that's greed too. And you, like I said, no man should have that much power. Yes.
So control though. Because I think we're using it as a synonym.
It's why I've always asked, why are you seeking control and power? Why do you care that much to control and have power over other people?
Well, okay, I think that's where it's like, okay, now it's a red flag. You don't want to control people. I don't think you want to control
business. Yes, you can be the controlling interest of your business or something like that. That's fine.
Or your job. I think you should want to control your situation. I think you should want to be. I feel like I'm more comfortable when I have more creative control or like more like, you know, more autonomy in what I do. Like if I'm working, I need autonomy. I need to be in control of a lot of things, not everything, but I think to receive more control is almost rewarding for a worker like myself. So that's why I asked you guys if control and power were the same thing to you, because I think power is like that overarching, like we all know, and there's nothing we can do about it. Like there's no that is being overpowered. You are stepped over.
I think what you're saying is okay. When you're talking about having a little bit of autonomy over the things that you do, stuff like that. No, I'm cool with that. That's not really what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I was like, I rock with that because I just think that power and control. I feel like you said with Trump, yeah, that dude's just it's greed at this point. It's all greed. I mean, all that stuff. It's evil if you look at it on a lot of different ways. Some people say what they want to say, whatever. We ain't really gonna share political views like that, but you know, some people just not good people. And the more you get, the more you're gonna show who you are. Like, just it's gonna be more of you. I think you can have all the influence and be a good person. I think there's not a lot of people like that because it tends to tank people when you get more. A lot of people get more and they get, you know, they get that that God complex and stuff like that. That'll be where things start getting, you know, like now you get in the gray area, bro. You got people worshiping you, like ease off the gas, you know, stuff like that. But I think that there are good people that do get more. I think getting more is not a bad thing. I mean, it's got to be a good thing. We have to highlight gaining more, and for us, bro, like we got to make it okay that you don't want to live a mundane lifestyle. Like you want more, you want to control, then hey, let's teach you how to do it the right way. Roles and responsibilities, you know what I'm saying? You got a job, like do your job. If you want to control, then control the right way. Or let it go. And because I mean we don't need more evil people out here. We don't need more of that. I don't know.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like who do y'all feel like were good like leaders that had a lot of influence and control? You know what I'm saying? Like I think of like Martin Luther King. Like I'm sure he had control and power to a degree. To get that many people.
People go tell you on both sides of the aisle on somebody like him. Because it's people who always go out there and dig up every bad thing.
But people be hating, bro. People be hating, bro. People don't like. There's some people that don't like seeing great stuff. Like they wish everybody was on the same level, just average. They want everybody to be average. Why they got more than us? It's like, bro, they ain't got nothing to do with you. Worry about yourself or learn from it. Get up on that level. Why you trying to, you know what I'm saying? That's crab in the bucket mentality.
I think LeBron James. That's one person I got to give his props on how feel like a good family man. He sports, everything. He seemed like a good person. He has a lot of power in the NBA.
That's a good point that you tag the NBA on there. What power does LeBron have outside of that? I know with the school and everything,
power. He has a power of influence. He has a very strong power of influence because they're gonna use his influence in advertising and the way that he can subject a pathline for his kids to get into the NBA. You know, he's using that influence in many different ways. So
do you think
I think
LeBron has really influenced our
is, huh?
I'm sorry to interrupt you, D, but that I like the way you said that. But do you think LeBron has really influenced our community a lot?
That's funny you said that.
No. I'll say he uses his influence to better his situation, his family,
Okay.
and things that he knows the power of his influence, and he uses. I don't know if it's always just
For the people who are around him.
Yes.
Okay.
LeBron really understands that part. I don't think LeBron chases the dollar. I think LeBron chases the power of the influence that he can get. So the more power he can get to influence where he wants to create paths, just like with his agent, you know what I'm saying? How they created that lane for him to have more power over the whole NBA. Like, I think he knows how to use that power and that influence.
Somebody's gonna have it. You know what I'm saying? I think LeBron does a great job being a professional. As far as his lifestyle, like you saying, J.Jones, I mean, he does represent as a good man. I mean, we have no reason to believe that he's not, based on what we know.
From what we know.
From what we know, we have no reason to believe that he's not. I think Nate, going to Nate's point though, when you talk about power and control, I guess we kind of got to influence, and influence is very, very big. But then you get into that world of, is influence the same as like that power control? Because like we're talking about influence, like rappers are influential, like, you know what I'm saying? Like there's like all these artists that create stuff, they're so influential, but they can't really even control their own bread. You know what I'm saying? Like the power and control is the people that control your bread. They pay you, they tell you where you can live, they tell you what you can and cannot do. To me, that part of it, being a good person and being in that position, because LeBron's not really telling nobody what to do. He's being a professional, and he has a lot of influence, but he's still told by somebody. Somebody's telling LeBron what to do, because, you know what I'm saying? David Stern.
He got his own production. Yeah, I'm about to say he got his own little production company. He a boss.
He's one of the ones. He's one of the ones.
In the NBA, I think he can influence ways things go, but like you said, he's not the commissioner, but he can influence the way some things. They're gonna cater to LeBron.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. He's your best worker. He's your best worker.
Yeah,
I think he's using his power to make stair steps to try to get to that position, because he owns like a soccer team, so he's gonna have those credentials of being an owner, and I believe he's gonna try to own a basketball team the same way. This is a good person to me. The same way Tyler Perry did. Tyler Perry played the role. He made his money. He used the game enough to stack to with a point to where they're like, why he buying all this land over here? What is he doing over here? What is he doing over here? Then it's boom, I got you. Now I got the power. Now you can come over here. We can make movies. We can make shows. I'm gonna buy BET. I got the power now. Ha ha. You know, so even that little speech he had at the BET Awards, he used the Bible, but it's true. He will prepare a table in front of my enemies. Like, we all at the table now, but I'm the leader of this table. I got this. The man got a whole exit and the whole exit named after him now. Like he's worked to that point. I kind of believe LeBron's working to that too, because it ain't about the money. I mean, he shows you it ain't about the money. I think he's trying to make steps to get in a position of power so that he can use that influence in an even stronger role.
With he who's awarded a lot, you know what I'm saying, you have a great responsibility. I jacked that whole saying up, but you know what I'm saying, if you get more, you're required to do more. So I think those are men that we could say are doing good things with more. So I think we need more. Well, I mean, I don't think it should be demonized or made, seen to be evil if you have more or if you want more. That's why I think we do need to address. That's why I wanted to just say on that, because there's a lot of just stuff that's tied to having all that money and power that just you'd be like, bro, get it away from her. Don't let her or him have it. Like, let's figure out a way to get out their hands. But I think it's just more so like, what are we not doing? You know what I'm saying? Economically, like, professionally, like, let's try to get some of those tips from them. Let's learn from these case studies, because we got a lot of them. People that's doing great things, that's not good people. Let's use that, and let's use it to our advantage to be good people. See how it goes. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I kind of want to pivot, fellas, if that's cool with y'all, to the whole Colin Kaepernick situation. And I guess, with that being said, y'all, we've all seen the special by now. He had his special, or you haven't seen it yet, bro?
I could care less about Colin Kaepernick.
Oh wow.
He said, wow. Hey, tell us how you really feel, Nate. Tell us how you really feel.
I feel like he started in the right place. You want to do something for the veterans, I'm cool with all of that. Everything else, I just don't care, bro. Like,
yeah, he's just doing a lot.
I'm tired of hearing about this dude. I'm tired of hearing him.
You're gonna have to elaborate, because people gonna kill you. You're gonna have to elaborate what you don't care about, because they're like, oh, he don't care about people. He don't care about the betterment of
I literally just don't care to pay attention to them. I don't care at all. I think he has a good mission, but I do not actually care to follow along with what he's doing.
Nate separated the man from the mission. He's separating the man from the mission, and I got you. I agree. They do give him a lot of. He's getting a lot. He's his same story is again being written in a comic.
Really,
form.
what it is for me though.
So
I think it really was the football thing. The continued. Oh, we got to give Kaepernick another tryout. We got to do. I don't care, bro. Like, if you want to be an activist, be an activist.
Yeah, do your thing.
Can be both.
You can.
Okay.
But the way I really felt about the whole thing when he stopped playing ball is the same way that we just talked about LeBron using his power. What athlete is more powerful than an NFL quarterback?
Messi.
Okay, in America. In the world, sure. Let me rephrase that one. In America, NFL quarterback, they'll have all kind of eyes on them. You go out there and you're a successful quarterback. The things that you want to talk about, people are going to pay attention. People might crucify you for it still, whatever. But the gravity that comes with that, I think is so substantial that it was a little misguided for him to step away and say, I'm pursuing this big of a mission. Noble mission, all of that. I'm not knocking his cause or anything like that. It just got to the point for me to just like, I don't really care anymore, bro. Like, I don't. That's harsh, but
I mean, I don't really care that much either. I just care as it pertains to the story, though. Like, just how. So with this story, basically, there's a part in the story, as it was in the special, where he was raised by an adopted white family, being a young. Is he mixed? Is he black? What is Colin Kaepernick? He's black.
Oh, Lord.
I forget. I know he's of black descent. I mean, he out here, black power. So I'm assuming he's black for the most part. But he got cornrows right after his idol, Allen Iverson. So Allen Iverson had cornrows in his head. So Cap said, "I want cornrows too." And he said that his mom pretty much said that he was portraying as a thug and gave him a hard time, perpetuating racist ideals. Was his point. And I guess I wanted to address that in a way of. It seemed like that was very important to him as a young man growing up. He said that would have impacted him, and it made him struggle with his inner black, being a black man, growing up as a young black man. And I just want to talk about, the importance of, growing up in a home and how our parents played a role in our lives, or didn't, and how, knowing who you are, the essence of who you are, how that comes from home. You know what I'm saying? Like, it really starts the insecurities, the things you champion, all that stuff really starts in the house. Because when I thought about it and I watched it, I thought, I always go back to like, just when my dad used to tell me, boy, you better not leave out this house with that do-rag on your head. And I used to like, man, well, I can't wear no do-rag. My friends can wear do-rags, but like his rule was if he caught me out there in a do-rag, he's gonna pop me, like he's gonna hit me in my chest. He used to, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna incriminate my dad right now, but you know what I'm saying, he give me that thump. Like, boy, take that off your drink on head. Like he be adamant. And I used to not understand it. But stuff like that was like built into my brain. So like when I, you know what I'm saying, even though I wanted to keep the waves, even as like I started getting older, I was like, I'm gonna take the do-rag off before I got the house because it's unacceptable to represent myself in that way. And you know what I'm saying, what that may be tied to, we're not really getting into that per se, but I'm just saying, like, you know, what's the importance of, you know, coming up and taking information from our parents, our uncles, our grandmas, guardians, whoever's raising us. What do y'all think on that? Like, what's y'all's thoughts on that?
Before y'all get going, that's a sword with no handle. Because it cuts from either point that it comes from. Like you said, if it's coming from a Caucasian family, it's like, wait, or they judge me, or they put me down, or whatever. If it comes from a black mom or a black, I mean, they really are kind of telling you the same message. So it's cut, like I said, it's a sword with no handle because it's cutting either way you grab it. So as far as a young man, you know, wearing cornrows because Allen Iverson got it, I mean, you got that in the black family too. You start wearing cornrows because Allen Iverson had it. They were like, you look like a little thug.
Yeah.
I mean, it like I said, if you hold a sword that it don't have no handle for you to grab safely to, wherever you grab that sword at, it's gonna cut you. And just to take that ideal out of it is, it hurts either way it comes from. Like, and the bad part about it, I mean, that's depicted from their history too. Like, they know that you can't get a job or you can't, you know, progress in life, especially at that time. They didn't want you to progress in life looking a certain way. So it's like, I have to pass this message on to my kid. Yeah, Allen Iverson can do it, but you ain't Allen Iverson. You need to clean that up.
Yeah. So it creates fear though. You know what I'm saying? That creates fear of being you. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that creates fear of being you. I know that was important as to why I grew my hair out in general, like just as a professional. I was like, man, why cut it, man? Like I'm still a professional. I don't think it has nothing to do with the fact that I'm professional if I'm clean. You know what I'm saying? I'm professional in every way, but what you deem as professional with my hair, which if I grew it naturally, it'd be the same way.
Right. I think that really is rooted in whatever racism, old slave mindsets, like how appearances were, you know, once we were getting out of slavery into segregated times, things like that. I think DeMarcus is absolutely right on that one. So to tell a kid he look like a thug because he got braids is just wild when you think about it. Like, how does a hairstyle symbolize thuggery? How does that symbolize that you're a criminal or whatever it is like that? So I think that part is, I didn't know what else to say, bro. I think that part is wild. That's something we definitely have to get away from. And you do need to be able to express yourself and have, you know, whatever expressive outlets, especially with your own appearance. But the other side of it for me is my grandfather is a military man. So appearance matters, right? And I think, like, to separate one thing and say your hair, just because you have braids or locks or whatever it is, to say that make you like a thug, no, that's crazy. But how you actually appear, the do-rag thing, going outside with the do-rag on, that's something you do. I wear my do-rag to sleep, right? So how am I appearing when I go out into the world? I'm wearing pajamas out into the world, stuff like that. Like, I get it. I think now we live in such a world where people are so comfortable and it, quote unquote, doesn't matter. But we also are all professionals, right? It's a certain time and a place. So I feel like a lot of it is rooted in probably stereotypical, like, you know, keeping Black people down kind of stuff. But I'm also slightly okay with it on some instances, as far as consider your appearance, want to look presentable, look like something when you're going out into the world. So the hair thing, I think that's fine. But other stuff, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
Eminem do rag on stage. He ain't never had no waves.
Who?
Eminem.
Eminem wore do-rag on stage.
He was
But
trying
he's
to.
a rapper though. He's a rapper.
Yeah,
though.
he was supposed to. He was blending in.
But Eminem, culture. He's a part of the culture. Okay, let's not get it twisted. He's a part of the culture, and that he's a rapper. I mean, that's part of the hip hop culture. So I feel like if you're a rapper, then certain things will be okay for your profession. Technically, you're still being a professional because you professionally rap. That's your sport. That's your entity. That's whatever that's your thing. That's your world. Certain things are acceptable there, but not necessarily, you know what I'm saying, for every other job. So if you're looking at most jobs, like Nate likes to say, putting things in reality, most people not gonna get away with rocking a do-rag out there in public and it just be okay. Like not for your job. You can't go to work, you know, say you work for the bank, you pull up with your two-tone do-rag on, they're gonna be looking at you like, all right, bro.
And
like,
it's like it shouldn't matter, but it does. Because that's the thing. It's like I don't want nobody to take it as I'm saying this should really matter. It's just again that reality of it does matter. Like, bro, it's not my decision. It's somebody who's gonna judge you for that. And it's probably not somebody that look like us. But why do you want to why fight that fight sometimes for me?
But look, and another thing is if we didn't have rules in societal rules, people would be out here naked at work. You know what I'm saying? So I mean,
they will be naked at work.
That's what I'm saying. So like you said, Nate, I'm not saying that I'm judging people off what they wear. But if we didn't have these rules, what would we be doing? We need some rules, some type of rules, because some people don't care. And they will show you they don't care. Your banker will be in a bikini, and you like, oh God, like I ain't like, give me all my money out of it. Like you gonna do it? I'm going to
create perception, man.
So yeah, I mean, it sucks to prejudge. It sucks to see somebody walking down the street with a do-rag and say, "Hey, he a thug," but it happens, man. And like Nate said, it's not me doing it, but it happens. So just try your best to present yourself as best you can. You can be the smartest person in the world with a do-rag. We're not saying you can't be, but you know, in society, you might, you know, wear collar shirts sometimes, you know. So.
Yeah, to what Nate said, you said something about this before. It's a survival mechanism to know something that's familiar, and then just like kind of base, you know, the rest of what you think about. You know what I'm saying? It's like I've seen this before. Like, okay, like let me move around. Like, you know, this may be a little dangerous right here. I've seen something like this before, and you can't get mad at somebody for doing that. Yeah, you're gonna be like, man, they judging me, but it's like this. I mean, what do you expect humans to do? Why did you expect humans to do things that are not human? Come on, bro. We program. Humans are gonna do stuff that humans do. So
if I see a dude walking down the street with a ski mask on, I'm like, well, I'm gonna go the other way. I think he's jacking. Okay? I might be wrong. Maybe this dude's face is cold. Maybe he got burned and he doesn't want to show it. I could very well be wrong. But
in the middle of the summer with a ski on, huh?
Okay.
Moving around.
Yeah. You're right though. You ain't lying. So I mean, with that being said, man, you know, how y'all feel like, you know, our folks that's trying to figure out, you know, how to move in this world, how can we unlock our lights on a March 13th, 2023 at 9:34 p.m. where daylight saving time sprung us forward. How can we unlock our lights? How we doing that right now?
Keep doing the work, man. That's it. Stay in reality and keep doing the work. There's no instant gratification out there. That's really can be the thing that we say all the time. You gotta do the work. They don't see the work going into this book, Sloan.
They don't. They don't.
My homeboy said 2 words, 9 letters, grind hard. He told me that. And
yeah.
I've been thinking about that all day. 2 words, 9 letters. So when I wake up, headache, whatever it is, we about to go grind. So keep grinding.
Keep grinding. D-Money, MrliftN'Go.
Something I tell our kids, I tell young people all the time. You can give your opinion, just be respectful.
That's real. That's real, because they don't know how to do that sometimes.
Why is that? Why is that missing? Why we have to tell people that?
Because they didn't get taught it. We did. When you said or yes to your mama, you guess what? Yes, man.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. And I feel like, going to that point, bro, I think we got to be comfortable with asking the hard questions, to ourselves and to life, you know what I'm saying, to everybody else. Don't be afraid of asking those hard, uncomfortable questions, and having those uncomfortable conversations, and stay in the room to find a solution and it'd be okay. Like you said, if it ain't gonna work out, it's not gonna work out. It's cool. But at least I stayed in the room and figured it out. Like D Money just said, be respectful. You know what I'm saying? Because disrespect is the reason why we have the crazy things happening in this world. Is perceived disrespect. Somebody step in your shoes, somebody say something about you that's condescending. Now you ready to fly out the handle because of perceived disrespect. So I think that's where we need to get the light from, is the truth. But Be Light Podcast. Make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure y'all come back week after week. Make sure y'all bring us these guests, bring us these topics, and make sure y'all cop the book when it drops, because we putting the work in. This thing is gonna be amazing. I'm telling y'all, we putting a lot of brain power in as a group. The guys can second it. I mean, we putting a lot of good stuff in there for y'all. When it drops, make sure y'all support. If y'all love us like y'all say y'all do. And we out.
Sorry, Colin Kaepernick.
Oh.